Hi, everyone. We would now like to talk about the key differences between, Ind AS 110 consolidated financial statements versus AS 21, which is again consolidated financial statements. So far, we must have observed that Ind AS are fairly comprehensive in terms of what they intend to cover, and it's not really driven by some rules, but that would be more covered through the substance of the arrangement. And that's where you would see, for example, the reference of the word control, right? In the AS framework, we assume that if it is more than half of the voting power or the control of the composition of board, automatically consolidation has to happen. But then here the control is a defined term. So you don't have to have a majority shareholding to be able to establish the control. And that's what is the key differentiator between AS 21 and Ind AS 110, right? Likewise, the potential voting rights are not considered for control assessment, but in real life, potential voting rights have a significance to determine whether an entity is having the control or not. Okay. As far as the uniform accounting policies are concerned, another key difference. If it is not desirable, it's not feasible or practicable to have those uniform accounting policies, and the fact needs to be disclosed. But in the other case of Ind AS, it has to be necessarily followed. There is no room for you to, have different sets of accounting policies, right? Similarly, when you have an entity which is controlled by two enterprises, they may be two separate parents, right? And accordingly, the separate consolidation can happen. However, under the Ind AS framework, it is not possible to do so, right? Ind AS 110 simply says either there is a parent or there is no parent, right? There cannot be more than one parent at all. That's something that you want to remember. Okay. Another key difference that you want to understand is that under the AS framework, the difference in the reporting dates cannot be more than 6 months, but it is a little more restricted under Ind AS, so it cannot be more than 3 months of time. Okay. Likewise, the minority interest, which was there in the AS framework, that is separately shown from liabilities and equity. So it lies somewhere separate from the two. But as far as the Ind AS is concerned, it is presented within the equity. So the non-controlling interest is a part of equity, but shown separately, of course. And finally, as far as disposals are concerned, there is no specific guidance, but Ind AS is very clearly, defining that whatever accounting that we had done, right, at the time of assuming control, right, you simply reverse that. You deconsolidate the moment control is lost there, right? So you do recognize your assets and liabilities. You would recognize any investments if you're retaining back. You would recognize any gains or losses. Goodwill is gone, non-controlling interest gone, and all that stuff, right? Very, very brief key elements of differences between the AS as well as the Ind AS that we wanted to cover in this discussion. All right. Thank you very much.